Hey guys, what's up? It's Sean, Autotopia LA. We're down here with my friend Doug. We're at Doug's Place, which is an extraordinary storage facility. We're gonna dig into your Ford. What year is this?
1968.
F100, right?
F100 bump side. This was a magazine truck back in 2008 and 2009. It was built by Classic Truck Magazine. Grant Peterson was actually the builder on it at the time.
Okay.
He built it all up, did the motor, did the suspension, all the fab work himself, which there's extensive amounts. Sold it in 2009 to a guy in Arizona. It sat for 10 years, and last year the guy finished it, did all the paint, did the interior. This is a 08 3-valve Mustang 4.6 with a Whipple supercharger on it. This was actually provided by Ford Racing at the time. This was to promote their crate engine program.
Got it.
They had a lot of 4.6s. They were from trucks to Crown Vics.
Yeah.
Clearly it didn't take off.
What do you produce out of this power-wise?
So this thing is supposed to be making around like 380 at the motor. That's a 3-valve, they don't make a ton. So the last dyno sheet from a couple weeks ago was 346 at the rear wheel.
Okay.
It's incredible work. And when I saw it when it came up on Bring a Trailer, I was like, is this the truck I drooled over in 2008, 2009? And sure enough, it is.
And now you own it.
Exactly. And you know, as you might see at some point, the other vehicle, I based my entire wheel and tire setup off this. It's the same specs and everything. They're 18s, 18 by 9s. They were custom made by American Racing at the time for the truck.
Because it looks very much like an old Ford wheel. I like it because the truck sits already so low and it's all squatted and stuff. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's not a light car, but it's not that heavy.
Yeah.
I think we're at like 3,900 pounds.
okay.
And everybody expects it to be super front heavy, but I think when we scaled it out and we corner balanced it, it's 52 front, 48 rear. So
Really?
pretty well balanced.
What's back here that gives it any weight in the rear?
It was cut off at the cab from the back as well, and so it's another Fat Man Fab 4-link in the rear. That was, again, kicked up higher to get the car lower. And so that, in combination with the tank in the back now, it's got a giant fuel tank, and the all-wood bed. That bed is not light.
I'd imagine. And it's beautiful, by the way. That's
It
really
is gorgeous.
Slick.
You know, you don't think about it at the time, but it's totally useless. I
Completely.
have a gigantic 2-door coupe with no storage whatsoever.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
Yeah, 100%. You can't put anything back here. It's crazy how clean the whole body is, just all the lines. I mean, as we're walking around, I'm looking at gaps and
Yeah, it was pro-built, and when it was finished in Arizona, I have all the receipts. This guy didn't spare any expense. I mean, his garage, he had 5 Ford GTs, and 2 of them were Le Mans finishing GTs. So
oh God, okay.
there wasn't any real cost cutting on this
Got
one.
room to spend on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's so clean. I love getting rid of the bumper.
And it is a Ford color. So it is I think it's a 2018 Ford Raptor. It's their Avalanche Gray.
What's it running brakes wise?
So it's got a custom setup up front. It's basically a giant 2-piston. I think it's a 14-inch rotor up front. It's like a Granada, like a mid-70s Granada front setup. And then the rear is a matching set. I think they're both 14-inch rotors, 2-piston. So giant calipers, but only 2-piston.
What a great truck, dude. I'm dying, I know they're dying to know too. Curious how much you paid for this, because it just seems like this had to be a big dollar vehicle. You don't have to disclose
I mean,
that.
they can look it up on Bring a Trailer. It's public knowledge at that point.
Those gauges look similar to Matt's car.
They are Speed Hut gauges, and they were in
Oh, they are?
Yeah, they were in a custom gray that he did to match the interior. Same thing with that center console is all custom. It runs vintage air, AC. It's got a vintage stereo. They're Mustang seats with the TMI covers on them.
Oh yeah, I see it, yep.
Yeah. The air freshener is pretty cool.
The air freshener's good, it's strong. Well, cool, dude. I don't know if I've missed anything on it. If I haven't, let's do the fun part, which is turn the key and go drive.
Yeah, I don't
this
think you
sucker.
have. That's everything, man.
All right, well then we're gonna go for a drive, you guys. This is really just a drivable truck.
Yeah.
Shift's great, dude.
It shifts good. It's loud. Doesn't pull that hard.
It just lacks power. Like, I mean, I know you're thinking the same thing I am. I'm not knocking it at all. You know what I mean? The truck's a bitchin' driver for sure. It's just that, you know,
A little extra would go a long way.
it'd be nice to have another 100 horsepower, I think.
100 horsepower is always nice to have.
It actually I mean, it does go.
Oh yeah.
It's not.
It's interesting because it's not the kick in the back you would expect, but if you watch the speedometer, it moves quick. You're like, I guess we're going that fast now.
Yeah, it's got to get a lot of attention. I mean, the look of it is really. It's a slick looking truck. The color sounds great, drives nice. It really does. I mean, hitting any of these bumps.
And you're not bouncing around. It just takes them.
And then, like you said, you know,
It'll move.
I mean, it does. It does fine. I really like the brakes on here too. It's funny that the pedal has, because you said it is manual, right?
Yeah.
You got a lot of brake though. It's like, I'm not having to whack it that hard to get it to.
No, and like it's really progressive anytime you're using it, but if you need to get on it, they will lock instantly. And
Really?
it's locking all four at the exact same time. Like
Really?
the thing just sits down on itself. The suspension in this thing is so dialed.
Yeah, it seems like it. And then you can already lift, you know, once we're past just a little bit. So
I was
you
just
don't
going to see
get
if it was
yourself
going to
in any-
shift.
Got
I
it.
was waiting. I was like, how high is this thing going to rev up?
It sounds great.
When it gets up high, it sounds awesome.
What does it rev up to? Do you know?
I think we have it set to like 6,500.
Oh, okay. So it's fairly high revving.
Yeah, these things have some room on them.
All right. Absolutely badass truck. I love it. I love the look of it. I love the drive of it. Here's a few more for you as we say goodbye, and thanks for hanging and watching what we do. See you in the next one. Later.